Medium man, physical medium man, physical medium man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. I have July 2024 movie reviews. Before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram store, or my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man store, my Facebook page for non-media related items to Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So joined again with my lovely wife. Hopefully have her on more of these since we watch them all together. So minus Kickboxer, and all the other John Claude movies. So spoiler, I watch Kickboxer, but yeah, we watched 6 titles in the month of July. We've already gotten more in the month of August than we did July. So anyways, just going to go ahead and get started. So first up on Netflix, we watched Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. That just came out in 2024. Looks like it's directed by John Ashton. John Ashton plays Chief John Taggart. And you got Judge Reinhold back as well. And of course, Eddie Murphy back in his main role as Axel Foley. Branson Pachote, if I'm saying that right, is also back as Surge. So a lot of the main characters from the original trilogy return for this one. And new roles, you got Kevin Bacon, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Taylor Page, who all I thought were pretty good. The last movie was made in 1994, so quite a bit of a break in between the two films, but or the last of the trilogy and this new one. But I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Maybe even more so than the third one. I remember liking all of the original trilogy. Just a great character with great music and a good buddy cop films. So giving it 3 stars.
Okay, I want to give it a little bit more. I really enjoyed it. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt too. Was really good. And we always when he showed up, I was like, oh good, he's in this too. So, but yeah, Eddie Murphy. He's a man. It was funny. Yeah, his character is so good, and it just kind of brings you right back, and a new version of it, 2024, but still brings you back to that 80s good stuff. So I really enjoyed it.
Well, maybe I'll give it 3.5.
Okay, there you
go. All right, next up, we got my first physical copy here. We watched 2000's Memento. This was a rewatch for me, first time watch for you. Christopher Nolan, he had done The Following before this, or just Following, I can't remember which one it is, which has a Criterion. I think it's got a Blu-ray, at least a DVD of Criterion put out, but it's really short, like 60 minutes, 70 minutes, something like that. So this is almost his directorial debut, unless you count The Following or Following. This stars Guy Pearce and Joe Pantalone, if I'm saying that right. Apparently people just call him Joey Pants because of his name. And also Carrie Ann Moss, who's in The Matrix and some other stuff. So yeah, this came out in 2000. It's an hour and 53 minutes. Guy Pearce plays Leonard Shelby. It's a psychological thriller. Really good movie. So he has short-term memory loss, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, short-term memory loss. And his last memory is his wife being killed. And he's trying to track down the murderer. You don't know who to believe and whatnot, and he just has post-it notes everywhere, and the tattoos you can kind of see there are things he believes are facts, and he tries to figure out what's going on and who the murderer is, and he doesn't know what to believe. Really good movie. Giving it 4 stars.
Yeah, and I agree with that. 4 stars is good. It was intense, though. I mean, like, you got to pay attention. Don't just, like, watch. Don't think it's a movie you can just put in there and kind of, no, you got to pay attention. You can't be on your phone doing other things. But it was so interesting. I mean, and I'm glad it wasn't too long. I think it was a perfect length because Nolan can get long to me, and I fall asleep and it gets a little slow, but it didn't. This one did not get slow. You're always wondering what's happening. You're like, wait a minute. I think I got more. I think I know. And then you kind of don't. I mean, it's good. It's a great movie. Yeah. Totally agree with your 4 stars.
And Beverly Hills Cop was 1 hour and 58 minutes too, by the way. All right, so next up we rewatched a classic, 1985's The Breakfast Club, directed by John Hughes. This is 1 hour and 37 minutes, of course starring Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Anthony Michael Hall, and Paul Gleason as Richard Vernon, who's great in this as well. Follows a group of high school students as they serve detention on a Saturday morning. Just a lot of fun, really fun to revisit. There's a boatload of special features on this Criterion that I need to check out still. I was going to do that like the next couple days after I watched it, but didn't end up doing it. But such memorable characters, a great coming of age story, and just kind of a great movie that just kind of shows that even though these people are a jock, a basket case, everything, the other ones, whatever,
a princess,
they're a lot alike, even though they're different. So just a great movie, giving it 4 stars.
Total cult classic.
Oh yeah,
cult classic. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. Growing up, we watched it all the time. I watched it. I think I could quote a lot of the lines. So it was a fun rewatch, and yeah, I always love Judd Nelson.
Yeah, he's great in it.
Yeah,
great
he's
character.
one of my favorites in there. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
So then, I don't know if it was the next day or I thought I wrote down the dates I watched. I guess I missed that date. The next thing we watched was Bratz to kind of follow that up. So 2024's Bratz, written, directed, and starring Andrew McCarthy, who wasn't in Breakfast Club, but was labeled Brat Pack, which, if you watch the documentary, it definitely had a negative effect on him, probably more than anyone else. But there were quite a few people that he talked to, so he basically just went and tried to talk to the people that were labeled as the Brat Pack, and then some writers, the writer of the story that called them the Brat Pack, and some other, like just a writer and some other things. Malcolm Gladwell wrote the actual story. He talks to Emilio Estevez, Ali Sheedy, John Cryer, Demi Moore, Rob Lowe. He also talked to a casting director and author, and it just kind of stinks that he wasn't able to talk to a couple of the people that I think would have probably been the most interesting to talk to. But it was still pretty well done. I'm only going to give it 2 stars just because it seemed like I wanted more out of it than what it...
Well, we wanted to see Judd Nelson. Let's just throw it out there, okay? He wasn't in there, but he was he was really affected. So, yeah, this documentary, it was great. It was about the Brat Pack.
Hulu original.
Yeah. I was going to say, it was on Hulu. That's right.
So.
But it was so good. It was so entertaining. I mean, I didn't realize that had happened back in the day, with that there was a newspaper article out saying that they're part of this club, that, and all these movies were coming out at that time. It was The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink. What was the weird St. Elmo's Fire? Yeah, that's right. All those movies that, starred a lot of the same people, but man, they were such good movies, and it was like it really killed it. It killed that whole genre almost, because that no one wanted to be associated with that. And man, they were so good, and I just want to say that I love them. And I think a lot of us love them, so I feel bad for those actors, definitely.
Yeah. Next up, by myself, I watched Kickboxer, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Loves John Claude.
This came out in 1989. It's an hour and 37 minutes. So Jean-Claude plays Kurt Sloan. His brother in the movie is Eric, but he's played by Dennis Alexio, who is a world light heavyweight and cruiserweight kickboxing champion in real life. So the movie starts out, they're in the United States, he's the champion, his brother's the champion, and he dominates everybody, and they're asking what's next. So he ends up going to Thailand and fighting this something Kong Po or something like that, and he ends up losing the fight and getting paralyzed. So then Jean-Claude tries to get revenge. He learns Muay Thai fighting and stuff, and it was okay. Another one I'm just going to give 2 stars.
I caught the end and I got the whole gist. I mean, really, right? Yeah. Didn't I walk in at the end of it? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I was doing something else.
But it just wasn't as good as some of the other ones. I feel like his best ones are the ones where there's like a fighting tournament, and this one didn't have that. And I think it was supposed to be one of his better ones. Maybe I should have gone back through and here's the Blu-ray there. Yeah, Tong Po. Still worth watching, but I think I might have had too high expectations for this one, because this one's like considered one of his best. And I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to Bloodsport, which I think you watched with me. Bloodsport is easily his best, in my opinion.
I actually didn't mind that one.
And so I'm kind of comparing everything to that, which might be unfair, but I still plan on keeping it. Next up, and lastly, we watched Blue Steel. This came out in 1990, directed by Catherine Bigelow, who was is the ex-wife of James Cameron. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays Megan Turner. She always wanted to be a cop, and then on her first day, she shoots somebody and gets suspended and stuff, and kills a perpetrator on her first day of the job. She's got they can't find the murder weapon, so she gets suspended from active duty. Then she meets this day trader, played by Ron Silver, he was really good in a villain role. Don't want to say too much about the movie. Clancy Brown plays the detective that she works with. He was pretty good in it, as well as Richard Jenkins plays an attorney, so it was kind of interesting to see him in that role. I thought the acting was all pretty good. It just I don't know, another one where it seemed okay, but it was just missing something that could have made it great, or a lot better than what it was. So another one I'm just going to give 2 stars for. I don't know.
I would have gotten 3 stars. I thought it was a good story. I thought it was like girl power type thing, really, right? I mean, it was like kind of like a woman in a man's field, and then kind of follows her problems with that a little bit. But also, agreed, it was a little slow in the middle, and then it wasn't great. I just love Jamie Lee Curtis though, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, and supposedly she kind of got her role in True Lies because of her role in this. Like, James Cameron had seen her in this and liked her in this, and then she got the True Lies role. So, but yeah, worth a watch.
Maybe 2.5.
Wouldn't go out of my way to watch it or anything, but still okay. So yeah. That's everything we watched for July. We've watched some good stuff, I think, in August so far. So, and some At least one I think I'm going to try to get rid of.
One I fell asleep in, so that's the one we're getting rid of.
You fell asleep in 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right. I've been tired.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man.